Hey everybody, this is Geekdom Movies episode 9, and today we promise not to spoil anything. We're going to do a strict no spoils for a couple of movies here. We got Blinded by the Light, Angel Has Fallen, Angry Birds, and then we have some movie news that's pretty exciting for you, and we have some trailers to talk about.
Yeah.
So before we get started, go visit us on Patreon, and there's a link right down below in the description. If you guys can drop us a couple of dollars, a couple of cents, whatever you've got, it really helps us. It really helps us to continue and make more of these. We don't really make money from YouTube. That's kind of a thing of the past.
Yeah.
So all of the support that we get comes from the viewers. Which right now is nothing, so throw some money our way. Okay, well, Patreon link down in the description. Alright, so let's get started here. What's our first movie on the list?
Well, me and George we did a non-spoiler review, so we'll let Shannon lead this. Because if you guys saw on our channel, me and George did an Exit the Theater review for Blinded by the Light and gave our few thoughts that we had. So why don't you start us off? Because we haven't heard your thoughts on the movie at all.
So, Blinded by the Light was a lot like yesterday. It was kind of deja vu to go in and watch another movie about a Pakistani male lead with a white love interest.
Yeah, that's so true. Well, except he was Indian in yesterday. I get what you're saying.
Brown male lead from another country. Sorry.
It's fine.
From one of those Istan countries.
Yeah.
With a white female American English love interest who's inspired by some American music, and then it changes his life. It was like totally the same movie. So something happened behind the scenes here. Something happened with the movie directors or the studios where they were talking about making these movies, and then they split off, and so same people had the same idea. So it's really fascinating to me when this happens, like with Bugs Life and Ants, or with...
I didn't think about that.
Oh, it happens all the time, yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Like, people from movie studios will know each other and have the same idea, and then they'll go work at different movie studios, and they'll make the same movie.
Without realizing the other one's making a different movie that's similar.
Right, it happens all the time. Actually, they do it quite intentionally. It's kind of...
You think it's on purpose, or do you think it's an accident?
I
think it's an accident.
Absolutely on purpose.
Really?
Yeah, Bugs Life and Ants came out the same year.
Okay, that I knew, but just because I know one of the big guys at Disney actually left to make DreamWorks, and he wanted to make the same movie. Yeah. So I'm familiar with that, but I've heard like Armageddon and Deep Impact. That was a very similar movie a few years ago. Like this was like 20 years ago. But they were working on different things, just kind of ended up coming out the same year.
Yeah.
We also had The Jungle Book.
So DreamWorks did Prince of Egypt at the same time they were doing Road to El Dorado. Those are like very similar stylistically.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
There's tons of examples, especially in animation.
The storyline is nothing close, though.
Right,
yeah.
It's not.
Which is a good thing.
They stole a lot of style elements from it. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It was Camelot and Road to El Dorado.
Okay.
Oh, I was like,
Prince
of Egypt has nothing to do with Road to El Dorado. I was like, okay.
Yeah, no, you're right. It was whatever. Anyway, so Blinded by the Light. So it was kind of weird going to see the same movie twice.
You saw it twice?
No, I saw.
Oh, you mean yesterday and then?
Yesterday and Blinded by the Light, same movie.
Okay.
But also very different. This one is based on a true story.
Yeah.
That's not a spoiler. True story about a real guy who moves from Pakistan to England, and in 1987, and his parents are very strict.
Most parents from that culture, yeah.
Which Fahad knows all about.
Yes, I do.
Parents are very strict, so he feels kind of constricted in his culture.
Right.
And the only outlet he has is this Bruce Springsteen tape that he's got for his Walkman, and he just listens to it over and over, and he starts to change his life for the better. And
probably just cap it there.
Yeah, that's all I'm going to say. I won't say anything else.
Yeah.
But of the two movies, yesterday was a lot better.
I like this movie better, though. I'm
shocked
that
I'm interested as to why. What I'm going to say is, yesterday completely sold me on Beatles music.
That's true.
When Blinded by the Light made me so sick of Springsteen. I'm like, I don't want to hear it anymore. I've heard it
Wow,
so many times.
Really? That's weird.
I was so sick of Springsteen by the end of this movie. I was like, I don't think he's the genius that this movie makes him out to be. I understand that the kid in the movie in real life feels that way about him, but they were trying to make me feel that way about him, and I just don't. He's fine. He's fine. He's a mediocre singer. Writer.
I actually don't know anything about Springsteen until this movie, so I don't have a say.
Yeah, I knew nothing about him until this movie.
Okay, this is what I'll say. I like this movie way more because it's a true story. This is a part in...
better.
I liked it better.
Interesting.
Because it's a true story. I really connected with how he doesn't fit in, and me and George talked about this a little bit, and I let him share that too. Just like being in high school, not being popular, afraid to talk to girls, but also... the culture aspect for me was like really deep because like, you know, growing up as a Pakistani in America, you know, you look at the prom king and queen and the, you know, people who are kind of like popular and like, I'm not going to get picked out of that hat, you know, back when I was in high school. So I got what they were doing. I also was made fun a lot and I worked really hard to get rid of my accent because I was made fun of my accent when I first moved to America and like kind of connected with that. There's one scene with these bullies that I won't go into because it's spoiler, but I connected with that feeling of what they felt like they were outsiders trying to like really connect. And, you know, it was emotional. I don't think I cried in yesterday, but I cried in this movie like 3 or 4 times, legitimately. Like, I think I really emotionally connected to the parents, the culture, who he was and what he was trying to do and the problems he was having with friends and like girlfriend and, you know, just all of that meshed together in such a, it's like watching poetry come to life. Like it really was for me. Like it felt like, you know, just like those struggles anybody can connect with. But, you know, me personally, I just connected more because it was the first time I saw me on the screen. That's never happened to me before.
Yeah, I was thinking of you for the entire movie. I was texting you like, dude, it's your parents on screen.
Right,
yeah.
Right. Like, my parents were like, you know, stay away from the girls and don't talk to girls. And
work hard. The Jews! I was dying.
Okay, no more spoilers, Shannon.
That's not a spoiler.
It's kind of a spoiler. No. Yes, it's a really funny line, and it's used a lot in the movie, but it's more about, like, the parents wanting their son to, like, go to school to become a doctor, engineer, something, like, lawyer, something big, and, like, his aspirations is to write, and they're like, there's no money in that, because that's all they see. That's how my parents hired when I wanted to go to film school in LA, but they were like, no, we're not paying for that. If you want to go to college, we're going to pay for you to go to do something in the health, like become a doctor, and I did nursing, and then I switched to finance.
Oh, I'll be a doctor, a movie doctor.
So it's like, you know, where do you draw the, I mean, like, I think every Middle Eastern, Indian, Asian kid in some way, shape, or form, or like some even, you know, I watch Gilmore Girls, and I've seen that even play out in American, like, where kids are trying to, like, leave the culture behind or leave what their parents want behind to kind of make their own path.
Elaine and Gilmore Girls.
Yeah.
My mom's half Middle Eastern and my grandpa's, like, fully Arabic. So there is a little bit of that culture, like 25%, that leaked into my family, and you know how strict my parents are.
Well, so, yeah, that's normal. That's a normal setting for most, like you're saying.
Yeah, so there's, I mean, I did relate to it on that level with how the parents treated him as like a kid and very restricted and wouldn't let him do anything. I completely related to that.
Yeah. But so that's my little input why I liked it more than yesterday. George, what about you?
It was definitely a lot more relatable, as you were saying.
Yeah.
Like bunch of scenes where I'm just like, wow, that's me. That's like, you know, like that was me growing up. Like I feel like I've had that kind of frustration and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
It was much more relatable than yesterday was, because I mean yesterday once again it wasn't based off a real story, it couldn't be.
Right.
But
yesterday was fun. It's like a sci-fi Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
Without going to spoilers, it's this weird idea that, you know, because I don't want to spoil yesterday for people. I'm sure a lot of people still haven't seen that because these are small movies. But yeah, like this is so relatable.
Maybe that's why I didn't like this one as much, because it was kind of painful to watch, because it was so real. It was like, you felt for the characters. It had real, like, political events that happened in real life.
Yeah.
Yesterday was just a blast fiction. Right. This one was like, I feel for you, and I don't want to feel this way.
But it, you know, I think, like, they did it really, like, what I really appreciated was, like, the intentions. Like, my parents always had, like, they're not mean people. My parents aren't bad people for wanting me to go become a doctor or a lawyer and engineer. They have good intentions, and they kind of just, they're not trying to hurt him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you feel for the dad.
Yeah.
That's so many times. The parents. Yeah.
Oh, his mom. I felt so bad for his mom.
Yeah. Yeah. Without going into details. And some racism stuff that happens too that are really connected with that we can do spoiler reviews. So for me, it's like, easily, right now, it's my favorite movie of the year, Blinded by the Light. It is
really
hands down.
I am surprised.
Better than any movie I've seen all year. I was completely shocked by the story for me. So for me, it's like, that.
I'm shocked this was your favorite movie of the year.
I'm shocked too.
I shouldn't be. The whole time I was there, I was like, I'm watching Fahad.
I really thought, okay, if I could go back to 2018 and like try to say like what my number one movie was going to be this year, it would be like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood or Avengers Endgame or something like that. But last year, my favorite movie of the year was Spider-Verse. It wasn't.
Spider-Verse was great.
And I thought it was going to be Infinity War or some of the dramatic movies that came out, but it ended up being Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I really that was hands down. That and my number 2 was Roma last year. I don't know if anybody saw that, but it's a really
I need to see that.
It's so good, and I really connected with the story and like the artistic style of that movie. But like George was saying, like you kind of feel for like you were a kid, you're a teenager.
Absolutely, yeah.
And yeah, I'll let you talk. I don't want to keep talking.
It's once again, it's relatable. Like
It's too relatable.
It is. But you really like. I did like also the fact that they did show some of the things that happened over there.
Yeah.
In that time period, and
no spoilers, but
no,
that was really interesting to watch. Yeah.
I'd never heard it.
Right.
Exactly. And it's really important.
But you will have to talk about in the spoilers because I'm dying to talk. Okay, so we're gonna cap it here.
Yep.
Me, number 1 movie of the year so far. Go see it right now. Go out the door. That's my review.
If you like Bruce Springsteen or you're from the Middle East, go watch it.
I would say it's a very, very good drama movie. So, and based on true story. So for that reason alone, go watch it. Because not many dramas that are based on true stories are this good. I mean, it's really good.
If you like dramas based on true stories, go watch I, Tonya. Best movie ever.
I didn't like that movie.
We'll talk about that later. I'm not even gonna go there. That, so. I can't handle you saying.
I don't like the mom. I didn't like the mom.
You're not supposed to like her. That's the.
I know, but it took me.
That's the real person in real life.
It was just so. She was so.
Evil.
And it was
but it's true. She's a real person.
I couldn't connect. See, my dramas are like I need to connect with, like everybody in the movie. Like when I watch a drama, like I want to compete with. Whether, you're the bad guy or good guy, like, that's what I look for in dramatic roles. It's like, I see where they're coming from. That mom was just crazy. Like, she was like,
I have the New Black.
Oh, I've seen it. The first season, I've seen it. I didn't watch the rest of it, but it's not for me. But I did like the first season. Maybe I'll finish it one day. But anyways, yeah, go see it. We're going to move on to our next review. Shannon's going to take a backseat on this one because we're doing me and George's, surprisingly, like, we both liked it.
Yes,
I
would actually go so far as to say this is my favorite action movie of the year.
I would say too.
I would like actually say that.
Yeah.
So, and I did not expect to say that.
Okay, let's talk about what movie it is first. So we went to go see Angel Has Fallen. I sighed because it was the most popular. Like it's the movie that came out this week that was popular. So I'm like, I'm gonna go see it, not expecting to like it at all. Like George is saying, I was shocked too. Like. How much I ended up liking. Wow, number 1 action movie of the year.
Yes, I would say that. Now, granted, I did like Olympus Has Fallen. Mm-hmm. I liked London Has Fallen, even though it was just, it was kind of far-fetched.
Yeah.
But this one, wow, was it good, in my opinion. You know what?
Yeah. Watch the spoilers. Careful.
Yeah, I know. I can't say that it wasn't predictable. But it was just so good.
Yeah, like you knew what was going to happen. When you see the movie, like you figure it out in like the first 10-15 minutes where the story is going if you've seen other action movies without it spoiling for you. Like you just figure it out. But the journey is fun and exciting. And I really this is in the trailer, so I double checked to make sure I'm not spoiling it. I liked watching him like be the fugitive, like on the run from his government. and having to like figure out what is going on, being accused of being a betrayer of his country, a terrorist, and like having to like claim his name back. Like those movies just like like The Fugitive, like the Harrison Ford Fugitive movie. If you haven't seen The Fugitive with Tommy Lee Jones and Harrison Ford, watch it immediately. It's one of the best movies. Like I used to watch that like religiously in high school. It is such a good movie. Just like being on the run, and Rambo, the first Rambo is like that too, where Sylvester Stallone is like running through the forest and the police is chasing him and stuff, and like he's being like, you know, brainwashed and like accused of something he didn't do. Like those are such good action movies, especially when the character is smart to figure out how to get through like the situation, and he has to like use his brain and like how to hide, how to like get away from security and like the police and the forces. It was wow, best action movie. That's shocking, actually.
Yeah, it blew Hobbs and Shaw out of the water. I gotta say.
Hobbs and Shaw was fun, but this was like more realistic.
It's a lot more realistic.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
sorry.
Holding
a helicopter in one hand and a truck in the other.
Wasn't
realistic.
I know what I was signing up for this movie. I didn't know what I was signing up for this movie, and I was thankfully like given a gift that I wasn't supposed to receive. You know, so it was just like this is what an action movie is supposed to be. Exactly. I would say go see it. Like I say it's better than the other. I mean, I agree with you. It's probably is up there in the best action movie. I don't know if it's my favorite, but I've seen the first one. I never saw the second one. I liked the first one. It was okay. Like it was a fun action movie. The second one I never saw, but you said it was not as good as the first one. But this hands
one was
down,
the best of the three. Honestly,
this movie made me go like make another one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
The third was the best of the trilogy, huh?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That never happens. That's crazy.
And I won't go into specifics because it's spoiler, but I really liked some of the things that they did with Gerald Butler's character and what he was facing, and you know he had. We'll go more into detail about that, with like some connections and things that happened in the story with him and his family situation and things like that. And I thought it was just so cool. Like he is more like a real character in this movie than he is in the other two movies. He's just like a full blown. Like, he's like struggling. He's like has issues. He's trying to keep his family together. Like you never saw that in the other movie or the first one. I never saw the second one. But you know, like what they gave him to do and work with as a character piece was just fun to watch. Like if you can make me believe you're a real person on screen and like I'm kind of like rooting for you, that's the game. That's the game you want to, you know, see in an action movie. So
absolutely,
go see it.
This was like, well, yeah, it probably was the most realistic action movie this year too, as well. So
I'm trying to think, what else has come out this year? We saw Hobbs and Shaw.
John Wick, right? We had John Wick.
Stuber's a comedy, though. I mean, yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's comedy.
Actually, I think Stuber might be my favorite comedies this far this year.
For sure, for me.
That's a whole nother story. Yeah, like I can't think of any other action movies as John Wick, but again, we're going towards Hobbs and Shaw, like unrealistic territory.
Exactly.
Not that anything that happens in this movie would ever happen, but it was just more like
it was a lot
real
more
world. Yeah.
At least.
Both movies are just crazy, insane. But like, yeah, I agree. I think you're probably right. I would say I still like John Wick 3 way more though. I don't know if I can. That movie's Halle Berry with those dogs. Oh my god! If the movie ended right there with just Halle Berry with her dogs, you know, fighting those bad guys, that whatever. I don't care about the rest of the movie. And the rest of the movie was still like amazing, like with those guys on the horses and Keanu Reeves with his sword and. Oh my gosh.
It was pretty wild.
I kind of want to watch John Wick 3 now. Anyways, the point is, good movie, go see it. You would say best movie for
best
you?
Action
best
movie
action
of the year, for sure.
All right. We're going to let Shannon talk because me and George have been talking a lot. Angry Birds 2, Shannon.
You guys, I made it through the movie. It was so long.
It was 90 minutes.
It felt long. It wasn't the worst movie I've ever seen. I have not seen the first one.
I haven't either.
I would never have gone and seen it if Fahad didn't force me to go see it. Just kidding. I've only seen it for you guys. So
I agree with Shannon on that
if
one.
If you have little kids, the kids in my theater were having a blast. They loved this movie.
It's like an ADD, like ADHD candy movie.
Yeah, I was like looking away from the screen because it's colors, sounds, bright lights. The action is so fast. They pack so much in.
Yeah.
It never takes the time to breathe.
I love the animation. Like
the animation was stunning.
Yeah, like I'm like, even though I'm like, this is not my type of movie, I was still entertained just because of the animation style.
Anytime they showed a landscape, I was like, I want to go live on Bird Island. I want to live over Pig Island. The one villain character is like bright purple and turquoise green, and the whole world that she lives in is so pretty. I just wanted to go live there. I didn't care what was happening in the plot, but I will say it had like a pretty good message for kids. I think
it did. Yeah,
a really good message. Like this. Without saying what the message is, it had some like surprisingly interesting characters that I kept thinking like, oh, I'm gonna go on my and then I would look up and like want to know what was happening on the stupid Angry Birds movie.
Yeah, so it's not a bad movie. Like
it's not bad.
No,
it's gonna sell a lot of toys.
I mean, if you guys, like Shannon is saying, like if you're a parent and you have little kids and you have like a lazy Sunday and kids can't go outside because it's raining and you need a movie just for them to be quiet for a while.
Yeah, it's got a good message. It's colorful.
I mean, you won't hate it as a parent. Let's just put it that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe.
I mean, I think like you need that break to give something to do with the kids.
It's like 90% butt jokes, just
that's true.
To be warned. But some of them were very funny.
Oh my gosh, that seal cracked me up.
The seal was funny.
So much. The seal.
The one that keeps going.
Under the little bridge thing.
The seal
will come and grab the fish and then wink at the bad guy and then the seal would fly down. Oh, did you miss it?
No, I saw that.
You didn't like it?
No, I don't think it was in the trailer.
Oh, it was in the trailer?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, wasn't? Oh, shoot. Well, it's a seal.
It's
Angry
Birds. And Angry Birds.
This is not the movie that they're worried about, but and with trailers. This is probably like the first movie, but instead of fighting the pigs, you're fighting other birds.
Yeah.
With another island. So you know what you're signing up for.
It's gonna sell toys.
I saw your review that you posted with the giving detail, but I also saw a 20-minute review of like the entire Angry Birds first movie.
I thought this was gonna be a spoiler, but it's totally in the trailer. The urinal scene.
Oh yeah, that was the longest.
The funniest scene in the movie.
I know, but they ruined it by putting it in the trailer because it's so good.
It is so good.
Yeah,
that seems to happen a lot in movies nowadays. Is they put a big spoiler for the movie right in the trailer, and you're just like
the best scene of the movie.
Why? Especially animated movies.
Every action scene that was really good in Hobbs and Shaw was in the trailer.
Yeah.
Hawaii. When he first chases them on the motorcycle at the beginning of the movie. The final battle is in the trailer. I'm like, why would you just ruin Hawaii? I know, but nobody.
Who's gonna go see The Rock beat stuff up? If
a lot of people.
Really cool in the trailer.
The Rock movies make good money. Even bad Rock movies make money. There was no reason to do that.
Now, too?
Yeah, you're right.
I believe so. Yeah.
So for me personally,
Angry Birds 2 though, they do have to put their best material forward in the trailer because there wasn't.
Oh no, Angry Birds 1. I saw the budget and I saw how much money it made. Oh my gosh, the amount of money the first Angry Birds movie made is ridiculous. It made
really good.
$600 million off.
It was great. It was a funny movie.
It cost $50 million to make the first.
$15 million. $50 million.
And $25 to promote it. It made $600 million.
You're kidding me.
Like a 700% return on your product.
Well, I understand. They're probably going to make 7 more of these things.
Well, it works. I can see why. It's
It was good comedy. I mean, it was good.
Yeah.
You know?
The characters are actually...
They're actually characters.
They're fun. Yeah, they have their own little personalities.
The speedy one.
Yeah. You're like trying to say a spoiler, aren't you? This was in the trailer, so I can say one thing because it was in the trailer. I like the love story between the two birds. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
It was a very unique love story.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah. I was, and I like the design, like you said, like the design of the design of the islands are fun. I just remembered what my favorite scene was. This when they get shot up into the sky and they're like flying through space.
Oh yeah.
The little baby birds.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Spoiler.
That's a spoiler.
I mean, like they're just flying. I'm not gonna tell what happened, but that's they're just.
That scene made me laugh.
Oh my gosh, it was so good though. He's just like the things they did with some of the kids is just so.
The baby birds were cute.
Yeah.
We'll get to those.
So
we're going into more details about that. Yeah.
Next up, movie news.
George is like, you gotta cut it off because we're gonna talk about spoilers.
There's too many spoilers coming out.
All right, let's talk about. Let's start with the first trailer we saw, which was Star Wars Episode 9. The D23 trailer was released 2-3 days ago. I think it was 2-3 days ago, something like that.
I can't remember.
Oh my gosh, I had goosebumps. Like they're recapping like this is the end for all 9 movies from Episode 1.
Talk about an emotional.
No, they are, but this is it for the Skywalker. There will be no more Skywalkers after this movie. It'll be done.
It's the last one.
It's the last one. They'll make more Star Wars movies in another part.
I'm so lost on the Star Wars universe.
Well, that's how many books he wrote was 9. That was it. So this is the last.
Books that he wrote?
Well, the main story that he created for Star Wars from Episode 4 to the prequels.
Okay, so no more Lucas-written films.
Basically, this is the end of Skywalker saga. There will be no more Skywalker stories. It'll be the end of Luke's family lineage. We're gonna learn who Rey is finally. I don't know who she is. Right. Well, they were waiting until the end.
Well, yeah.
Never mind. I have a theory on who she is, but okay.
Everybody and their mother does.
Too.
Mine is she's a clone of either Obi-Wan or Anakin. That's my theory.
Are you serious?
She's a female clone version of either Anakin. I think it's Anakin. I'm gonna say that's what I think. I'm sure I'm dead wrong.
I have another theory that she is actually somehow the daughter of the one girl from the Solo movie.
Oh yeah.
Her and Darth Maul.
Darth Maul wasn't with her though. Was what?
Possibly.
That's interesting.
Why else would she have a 2-bladed lightsaber?
Oh, you're right. I didn't think about that.
So
I think she's a clone. I think she has to fight herself. I think they created 2 clones. One clone became evil. And one clone.
This is gonna be like this would be like the Force Unleashed then.
Yeah.
Video game mind just.
I mean, it has to be. It's the only thing that makes sense.
That would be so cool. I'm excited about this.
She doesn't have any parents. She can't. She doesn't. She never. She was cloned, and maybe whoever cloned her was.
So that's why. When she went to go figure out who her parents were, she just saw a bunch of reflections of herself?
Exactly.
Wow.
Did I just blow your mind? Yeah. That's what I'm like, the clone theory is the best theory, because we've seen them do it even in Episode 2 when they cloned Boba Fett.
That's true.
Remember? And they wanted,
sold me on it.
Yeah, and why would they not try to clone Darth Vader? Why would they not try to clone him and make him so that,
How would you clone Darth Vader and get a female?
You can. You can make the gender change, but you can't. You can use the same DNA of a boy, just make it female. It's not that hard to do. Yeah, you can do it right now. They did it with the goat.
Show me, do it.
2 years ago. But the famous,
so easy.
The famous lamb goat, they did 50% male clones, 50% female clones. They're not the same thing, but they used the clone to make 2 different genders. So I mean, that's what I would do if you were trying to hide the fact that you cloned Anakin and you were cloning a bunch of them and failing. What I think Rey that was left on the first planet is the clone failed version, but somebody felt sad for her and didn't want her to die, so he or she dropped them dropped her off at the desert planet to hopefully she stays alive, because she's obviously has the Force abilities. She can fight on her own, she can survive on her own because she's Anakin's clone.
Okay, but how did she end up? Because if I recall,
this is just a theory, I don't have all the answers.
Oh no! I'm thinking. Sorry, I'm thinking of who was it? I'm sure. Oh, man, in one of the Star Wars movies, which one was it? It was the one.
I have no idea which one.
Where they were trying to find the secret plans for the
Death Star.
Death Star, yeah, that one. I was getting Rey confused with that one, the girl's parents were. No. But
But what I think is the failed clone is the evil one, and they're using her for evil purposes because she's Anakin's true essence, because they want a second Darth Vader. So what you had because we know that the Emperor is back, he never died. That means he cloned Darth Vader and left. And he's been training the evil Rey the whole time. And Kylo has been working under Plagueis, but Plagueis was secretly working under the Emperor himself. and nobody knew.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Whoa.
This is the problem I had with this trailer. I am so behind and so lost.
It's 2 movies. You could watch them in like one night.
I would have to go back and watch all of them.
6? No, you've seen all the old ones.
Yeah, like 10 years ago. The only one that I know by heart is The Phantom Menace, and that's because Weird Al wrote a song about it, and I have the song memorized. And I know the plot of that one. But the rest of them,
the good news is the episodes 7 and 8 start their own new trilogy. Yeah, they sort of kind of connect to the back like the theories we have. Mm-hmm. But you can watch 7 and 8 and be like, okay, that's who Rey is, that's who Finn is, that's who Kylo Ren is, who Palpatine is, or whatever. I mean, not Palpatine. What's his name? Darth Plagueis? What's his name? The guy who like was controlling Kylo Ren. What's his name? The fake Emperor who was like controlling Kylo and training Kylo, the evil guy who died in the last movie. I forgot his name too. I have no clue. It was Gollum. The actor is played by the guy who plays Gollum, and he, you know.
Why he looks similar.
So what I think like now that he's dead, Kylo is kind of doing his own thing, but the Emperor's like, okay, now I gotta step up and show what I've been doing the whole time, and he's kind of been in the shadows.
And now he's gonna be like, sabotage the Empire.
Sorry, Rey, you're not supposed to exist. I cloned you. You're supposed to die. Here's the true Rey, which is evil, who I trained, and like Kylo. Then that means I have so many theories, so I can talk about Star Wars all day because this is what I love. I believe Kylo and Rey are gonna come together, and they're gonna fight the evil Rey and her army. And that's the army you see. It's the Emperor and like the evil Rey coming out and be like, hey, we're not in the shadows anymore. We've been watching you guys the whole time.
That would be
Kylo, you screwed up. I'm taking the army back, and everybody, all of Kylo's armies and all of his military might goes to the Emperor because it's the Emperor. They're not gonna.
They're not gonna question.
And then Kylo's like, oh crap! Now I have to come to the good side because this is not what I wanted either. So I think that's what's going to happen now. This is just my theory on how the trilogy is going to conclude. And my other theory is Luke Skywalker is going to go talk to Anakin in the ghost world. And he's going to be like, because they figured out in the last movie, Luke Skywalker says, we figured out how to come back from the death. First we come back as ghosts, now we can actually physically come back for a bit.
So that's why Yoda wasn't a ghost.
So what I'm thinking is, exactly, nice. You're figuring it out. So what that means is Anakin played by Hayden Christensen, is going to come back as the good version to fight his clone that's a woman, that's Rey, and Luke Skywalker and Anakin are going to team up while so they're going to fight the Emperor and her, and then Kylo and Rey. God, I hope this doesn't fail miserably, because I already made a better movie than whatever they could come up with. Just by my theory alone. I know.
Oh, no.
That's my problem. I made a better movie than $1 million writers at Disney. So I'm like, oh, God, if they don't do this, it's gonna be complete crap.
Yeah. Because this is wow, this is, yeah.
I'm going to have a seizure trying to follow this plot.
It's so good, though. It's so good.
I know. I told my wife and my friends this. It's like, if Disney doesn't do that, you have made a better movie than anything they could come up with. I'm like, but I'm like, this is what I just theorized, and I made a better movie because I've been thinking about it so much. And if it doesn't, and if they don't do, maybe they'll surprise us. They could go in a different way and still be like, oh wow, that was amazing. But if they screw this up, I'm gonna be so pissed, because wouldn't it be awesome to see Luke and Anakin come back, like father and son team up to take out the Emperor?
That would be so cool.
And they're just like, Rey, focus on, let's say Kylo's still like, go fight your double half, like your evil half, and Kylo, Rey, like good Rey, go fight your clone. We're gonna fight the Emperor and finally take him down. And boom! Episode 9! It's done! Emperor didn't die, we didn't know, but Luke and Anakin come back, father-son duo. It's over. Chapter's done. Star Wars is back.
There's some executive at Disney going, rewrite the movie! Stop the production!
Seriously, if you're watching this and you think that's my version of my theory is good, somebody go talk to George Lucas or J.J. Abrams or, I don't know, Bob Iger at Disney. I don't know. Somebody, because I think that would make such a great ending, and if they don't do it, you're going to be like, oh, like, this does not connect all 9 movies anymore.
You should just not watch the movie and just pretend that's what happened.
I'm going to do that. I'm like, this is what happened in my world. This is how the actual Star Wars trilogy of the 9...
Alternate universe. This is the movie I wanted to see.
Anywho, we should talk about the trailer on that note.
Okay.
Oh.
Right.
So,
I was lost because I don't know enough about Star Wars.
I love Star Wars.
I love Star Wars. I'm like, I can never say. I love the new characters. I think they're so charismatic.
Absolutely.
They're also unique and interesting, like Rey and Finn and what's the Mexican guy's name? I keep forgetting his name. The actor.
Racist.
He's Mexican. That's not racist.
I don't remember now. No.
God, what's his name?
You got it.
He's BB-8's original owner.
Yeah.
God, what's his name? Finn, Rey.
A Mexican guy.
Mexican guy.
Yeah.
Don't sue us,
Oh
please.
my
We
goodness.
actually don't remember his name. He's kind of important.
He is. He's extremely important. Especially, it looks like according to the trailer, he's there.
Right.
So, ew.
He's the best fighter pilot. They always call him the best fighter pilot.
Was he better than Luke?
Better than Anakin, who won
Luke
the
wasn't that good.
pod races.
Anakin.
Exactly. you
That'd be
know?
cool to see him go against Anakin in like a battle.
I gotta say, Lego Star Wars, the video game, was on
Yes.
point. Yes, the pod races.
I'm
Oh
so
my
confused.
goodness.
So good.
Okay, yeah, Lego Star Wars was awesome.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, we're wasting too much time. Okay,
Okay.
so I liked the double Anakin, like the Rey that's with the double lightsaber with
Yep.
Darth Maul, and she could be evil. That's really cool. I want to see where that goes. C-3PO with the red eyes. I mean,
Did he turn bad?
or did Anakin
Question.
take him back, and Anakin's still alive? Because he's technically Anakin's android still.
Yeah.
Maybe everyone reverses their roles, and all the people on the dark side go to the light side, and all the people on the light side go to the dark side in an
Ooh.
alternate universe situation. So
I don't know if it's-
C-3PO becomes
I
evil.
don't know if that will happen, but you never know. It's weird that the Emperor's back. It's just
That
Like,
is
what
so
it-
strange.
they-
Everybody
and if he
thought
is back-
episode 6 was such a good ending. The Emperor died, we thought.
I mean, we all knew that as Darth Plagueis. I knew he didn't die right when Darth Plagueis in episode 3 goes. There was an apprentice, and he was so strong that he could even defeat death, and he could come back to life if he needed to. It was said in episode 3 to Anakin when Palpatine is talking to Anakin at that weird like opera scene, and he's like, he could even because remember Anakin was getting
Oh,
dreams
yeah.
about Padme dying.
Yeah,
Which was
yeah.
his fault, but he was like, and Anakin's like, wait, what do you mean? It's like if one of your close friends or you die, the dark side figured out how to bring people back to life even after they're dead, and that's kind of what
Is
kind
that
of
what
like.
happened to C-3PO? No, I'm joking. I'm sorry.
And C-3PO comes back to life. No, I don't. But I mean, like that's the reason he joins the dark side because he wants to save Panda
Yeah.
Bear, whatever her name was, Padme Bear. Panda Bear. That's what I call her.
So what other
She's so
movies
annoying.
did
I
you
love
watch?
Natalie Portman. She's just, I hate her in that role.
What was the other trailer that we watched?
Oh, The Mandalorian?
Yeah.
That's
That was
gonna be
for
cool.
a TV series. I mean, it'll be interesting.
I'm excited.
I'll probably watch it.
I've always wanted to
I mean,
know
Star
Boba
Wars.
Fett's backstory. We never really got it.
Like how he became a bounty hunter. Maybe?
Yeah, like in the old
Hopefully
movies.
they have something about that.
And he looks exactly the same like he does in the old movies. He doesn't talk. He just carries a gun.
Yep.
I'm here to collect the bounty and put you in this frozen metal piece things that Han Solo was in. He's using that same type of. So is he working for both? Is he working for what's the giant?
They don't
slug
show
thing?
him at all.
No, but that's his technique. So do you think has a bounty for somebody else then, or
Maybe.
is it?
Or is this before he meets him?
What's his name? The giant slug guy is Boba Fett is the bounty hunter,
No,
right?
Jabba the Hutt.
Jabba the Hutt, thank you.
so much.
So is
Pizza the Hut.
I just call him Giant Slug Dude.
Pizza the Hut.
Pizza the
Yeah.
Hut.
I
Who
just-
gets choked to death by
That
Leia.
was kind of funny. How does that happen? Like,
And she's a Jedi, obviously. She's Luke's daughter. I mean, not Luke's daughter, Luke's sister.
While we're on movie news, can you address this whole Sony Disney Spider-Man thing?
Oh gosh, I can't even.
Oh.
Okay,
I think they're gonna
so
work it out.
they're probably gonna work it out because Spider-Man's $1 billion.
Let's
They
just
will.
So
hope they
much
do.
money.
But
How
Disney-
to work it out.
You screwed up.
Screwed up, Disney.
Yeah.
I mean, like the
I
amount.
agree.
Why would you do that? Why? Of course, Sony's gonna say no. The reason they gave you permission to put Spider-Man in Avengers and MCU at Disney, and these little side adventures and Avengers and stuff, was so that they can get Spider-Man back, so that they can make their own Spider-Man movie. And it was working so well. It was like the perfect deal. I don't know why Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney, was just suddenly like, nope, we want half the cut. No, you don't. You make more money from the Avengers movies than you ever would from
Than you ever
one
need.
Spider.
You don't
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
they need more money.
And like and I'm sorry, Disney, you're a monopoly. You bought 20th Century Fox. You're like taking
ESPN,
over.
National Geographic.
Everything is gone. Like Sony's the only like Sony, Warner Brothers, Universal Studios. They're like dying. Like DreamWorks is Universal.
In a long time, have they?
No, they have.
DreamWorks?
Yeah, they have. They just did How to Train Your Dragon 3.
Oh, that's true.
Glad that it lost it.
They're coming too big though.
I loved How to Train.
I liked it. Yeah.
But the point is, like, no, you can't have Sony. You can't bully other studios. You can't. Yeah. And Stan Lee, if you read his article, he's like, Spider-Man belongs to Sony, and that's where it will stay. And right now, I mean, like, everybody knows I'm a Disney fanboy. I think they did a phenomenal job with Star Wars and Marvel, Pixar. Live action are hit and miss here and there, but they're overall good. And I think Disney is finally back in their animation game with Frozen, Tangled, and all the other, Wreck-It Ralph, Moana. I can keep going. Zootopia. Like you guys are doing so good. This is so evil and wrong. Like they're bullying Sony. Like it just makes me upset.
Evil not making more Spider-Man movies.
Like Mickey Mouse became Darth Vader all of a sudden. or Thanos. Like Thanos collects the gemstones. Mickey Mouse just collects all the studios in his hands.
Okay,
he's gonna snap all the studios out of.
I gotta see that as a meme now. That I have to.
Somebody make that happen.
Like Mickey Mouse is just like DreamWorks, 20th Century Fox.
Oh my gosh.
Just like
funny.
No.
It's all about balance, and I'm the ruler. And like all the studios disappear, and all of Hollywood just belongs to Mickey Mouse and Disney.
That's too funny.
But it's true. Like, why would you? Why are you bullying Sony? Like, let them be. And I'm glad Sony stuck up. Like, look, I want Spider-Man to be in the next Avengers. And like, gosh, the second movie was so good because Happy's like Tony Stark wouldn't have done if he didn't know you were coming back. That was like the line to say he is gonna take the lead with Avengers and be the next generation. Basically, and like all of that has been snapped out of existence. Who is as popular as Iron Man and Captain? Nobody.
They're currently building a Spider-Man roller coaster at Disney World. It is in production.
How is that possible?
Well, they have to get the rights back.
Well, how are they going to get the rights back if Sony's not going to give it to them?
They're going to have to renegotiate. They have more money than God.
That's true. You're not
wrong.
They
can buy them out.
But Sony's not going to let go of those rights. They're not. What does Sony have left? They literally have. They sold, like an idiots, they sold 007. So 007 is now gone, one of the biggest multi-billionaire franchises. Yeah. James Bond doesn't exist. Who does Sony have besides Spider-Man? Men in Black bombed like crazy. Yeah. So I don't know what they're going to do with that. All they have left right now, Sony only has Spider-Man left under their bandwagon. They have the animated movie, which was still my number one favorite movie of last year, Into the Spider-Verse. And they're not gonna get rid of. They're not gonna sell.
I really like
Venom. Huh?
I really like Venom.
I liked Venom too, but it's not like that's not gonna save Sony. Spider-Man
no.
is. But now we get now Sony can be like, you know what? You bullied us to say like Venom wasn't connected to Spider-Man and do your own thing. But now Venom can be in a Spider-Man movie. That's the saving grace for Sony, is that you can get Venom and Spider-Man in one movie, but it still sucks. If this deal, like you said, like they might still work it out, but if it doesn't, work it out.
How are you gonna have another Avengers movie without Spider-Man? He's supposed to lead the troops. He's supposed to be the new Tony Stark.
Yeah, and if he's not there, it like Captain Marvel, no. Black Panther, I mean, like they're great characters.
I feel like it was a great big executive decision. Like, okay, we're just gonna completely cut off Tony Stark and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
From the MCU, just like Tony Stark died. Okay, boom, he's gone. That's it. Like,
well, yeah.
I think they just tried to see if they could negotiate with Sony in regards to that, and they just put the two of them kind of in their own separate area in the last Spider-Man movie, and then they're like, if this doesn't work, we're just dropping it.
I
don't know.
Yeah. It's just so confusing because it's like the reason the plan was so great was Sony was like, look, if you help us bring Spider-Man back, because the Andrew Garfield movies, I can remember says they were terrible. And Tobey Maguire movies were decent, except for the third one. I like the first two a lot.
Yeah.
And they needed something different, and they got it. And Disney's original deal was, if you let him borrow, like, can we borrow Spider-Man for our universe, but when he does his own movie, like, separately, it's all you. That was, like, the perfect compromise. And I'm guessing the reason Disney didn't like that anymore is because Spider-Man made, like, what? The Far From Home made $1.2 billion. It's the highest
they realized
grossing...
just how much money it could make.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, wait, nope, 50-50 now. Like, we both put in 50% to make the movie, and we get 50%. Sony's like, we're dying. Like, no, you can't do that. We're not, you know, like, they're not gonna, I mean, it's their rights. They don't have to get rid of it. They're just gonna go make, they got 2 more movies left, so they can make Spider-Man 3 with Tom Holland and Spider-Man 4 with Tom Holland, and still make billions of dollars, because people love Tom Holland, and people are gonna go see it anyway. So Sony's making the right move and being like, no, we're not gonna do that, so...
I wonder how they're going to write that out in the next Avengers movie. They'd have to really work some plot magic to write it. They'd have to kill him off or have him desert. How are you going to have Spider-Man desert the Avengers, or are you going to kill him off? That's your 2 options.
Or just have him disappear and don't explain it.
Or just don't even explain it. Yeah. That's what they're going to do.
That's probably what I'm guessing would happen.
The whole last Spider-Man movie is just leading up to him becoming the leader of the Avengers.
Right.
So
literally the leader of the Avengers, or else just a spin-off that gets cut off with him and Tony Stark.
Right. Well, now they're going to have to take out all the... You can't talk about Iron Man. So if Sony and Disney deal breaks, you can't talk about Iron Man, you can't talk about MCU, you can't talk about Avengers, you can't talk about... Happy's gone, and his relationship with his aunt and where that was going to go, that's done. So he's not going to be back. Nick Fury's not going to be back. Basically, it's going to be Tom Holland and whatever they decide to do with the next movie, which is not connected to the MCU whatsoever. So... Yeah.
I don't know how they could make that work. I don't know how they could pull it off and make a good movie out of it.
If Disney was smart, they'd just go back to the deal on the table and be like,
they might do that.
They would have to.
They probably will.
Because I don't see Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange. Thor's done after the next Thor movie. Guardians are done after the next Guardians movie, so they're not going to be in Avengers.
This all could be a publicity stunt that the two
I hope so.
It could be a big publicity stunt. That's just getting all of us to talk about it for hours, and then so excited when they bring the movie back.
Yeah, I feel like there's when James Gunn got fired from Guardians and people were so mad. Like a big deal, and people were like revolting Disney and like blah blah blah. And then like 6 months later when things calm down, they're like, yeah, we'll rehire James Gunn again.
That's fine.
So it might be that. It might be like in a few months when the heated environment has gone down, that like Disney will be like, hey, good news, Spider-Man stays in the MCU and Sony's going to make their own movie, and they get to use our characters, and we get to use Spider-Man, their character. So I think it might work out. It did for James Gunn in Guardians 3, so who knows. What else? Oh, the Joker. The Joker. Final movie news was the Joker trailer.
Oh, yeah.
You know, honestly, I hate to say this, but I was almost slightly disappointed with the new trailer.
I think I'm good.
I think it's artistic.
Exactly.
I'm good with the first trailer. Like, we don't need to. It comes out in a month.
We didn't need this one.
But like what? A month
the anticipation was already there, and now it's
everybody and their mother is gonna go see this movie. Like, there's no reason to like worry about that.
Would they take their mother?
That's the question.
I mean, like a lot of.
So there's no Batman in this.
Well,
I don't think so.
Batman's dad was in it, if you saw him. I thought that was cool.
Batman's dad was in it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Thomas Wayne. I saw Thomas Wayne in there.
So maybe Batman's
next to Robert De Niro's
kid during this one.
Oh, yeah. This is a prequel, like Leah said.
It's a prequel to what?
To the original Joker. Heath Ledger, 90s Batman. Not Jared Leto. Everybody pretends that doesn't exist anymore now, thankfully. The Suicide Squad Joker was so bad. No.
But the Harley Quinn character, I mean, every little kid I knew was dressing up as her.
That's the character that's coming back for Suicide Squad.
And Birds of Prey, right?
And Birds of Prey is going to be led by Harley Quinn, yep.
Wait, you're saying Jared Leto...
He's done.
He was Suicide Squad?
He was fired. He was in Suicide Squad. Jared Leto was the Joker in Suicide Squad.
Oh, that's what I was wondering.
Have you seen Suicide Squad?
Yes,
it was terrible.
It was horrible. He seemed, honestly, he kind of seemed like a nowadays pop star. I mean, or rapper, I should say.
I don't know what they were
the fake teeth, and he's in these weird nightclub environments. I don't know.
And why?
It's so strange.
It should have been what they're doing now with the prequel to the Joker, with Heath Ledger's Joker. Is very familiar.
Yeah.
I think this is really smart. You can tell. It's going to be close to the heightened awareness of who Heath Ledger was and what he did with that character. So I think this movie has the potential to really, and they're hoping that it makes good money so that he can be in Robert Pattinson's Batman movie next. So.
Oh yeah, Robert Pattinson's gonna be Batman.
Yeah, which I'm really excited about because I love Robert Pattinson. I love him so much. I've never seen him in the Twilight movies. I've only seen him in like the drama roles, and he is such a good actor.
Drama roles?
Drama roles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like he's such a good actor, but nobody's seen his work outside of Twilight. But he's phenomenal actor. Like,
really?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Like the Lighthouse. Go see the trailer for Lighthouse. It looks so good with Robert Pattinson. Oh my gosh, I'm so and he's in it. Who's the bad guy in the Tobey Maguire? Who's the Green Goblin? The actor.
William Dafoe.
William Dafoe and Robert Pattinson are lighthouse keepers, and it's a horror movie. You're gonna like it.
Oh.
It's a psychological horror thriller type
those.
movie, and it looks so good. I think it's gonna be similar to Midsommar. In some weird way, like that, it's something
Midsommar,
unique.
or do you think that it's going to be somewhat closer to Shutter Island?
It could be, yeah.
I'm like.
Have you seen the trailer?
No, I haven't seen the trailer, but you're getting me excited.
Oh yeah, I'll show you the trailer because we're almost done here. But yeah,
Okay.
I agree with everything. Like they didn't need to release this trailer. The first trailer was perfect.
I liked William Dafoe in The Florida Project. It's on Amazon. Go watch it.
Isn't that with Shia LaBeouf?
No.
Shia LaBeouf?
No, The Florida Project was a very small indie movie that was filmed 10 minutes from where I used to live in Florida.
Oh.
It was filmed on an iPhone.
Really?
Yes.
Wasn't
It's fantastic.
He was Transformers, but
Well, yeah, but he just came out in Peanut Butter Falcon, right?
Peanut Butter Falcon, yeah.
What is that? I don't know what you guys are talking about.
That's
Have
the
you
one-
seen that one yet?
My friend Ben Sealander said it was really, really good.
What is it?
Really?
Peanut Butter Falcon. It's about a special needs adult boy who runs away from home, and he goes on an adventure with Shia LaBeouf.
Down syndrome.
Down syndrome.
Yeah.
He goes on he like runs away from his home. Somebody's trying to find him, and he goes on an adventure with
that
Shia
character?
LaBeouf, like
That's
like Tom Sawyer style
who
or
is
Huck Finn style.
who is that? She's a famous actress, actually. That's in there,
Anna
right?
Oh, it's the lady from 50 Shades of Grey. Oh, what's her name?
I know who you're talking about. I know the actress Dakota. Yeah.
Dakota something.
She's
Dakota Steele.
It's funny. Like I see you in other movies, she's not badass.
No, she was.
I've never seen those movies.
I've never watched 50 Shades.
Oh, yeah.
But people say she was really talented in it. So.
All right, we should put a cap on this. Thank you guys for joining us with our non-spoiler reviews. We'll have the next review up. We'll do spoiler reviews for Dora, Blinded by the Light, Angel Has Fallen, and of course Angry Birds 2, which you can catch in a few days when we record we'll post the next one. So thank you guys. Have a great weekend or week.
Patreon link is right down there.
Patreon link is
Make
below.
sure you give us a thumbs up and subscribe so that we can continue to make these videos.
Yeah. We'll make them anyway, but if you want to give us some money, it might help us more be excited to do it.
Yeah.
Anyways, geekdommovies.com is our main website. You can also find our YouTube videos on the website. You can also just stay here on the YouTube channel and check out more of our videos. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night, great week. We'll see you guys next time. We'll be seeing It Chapter 2 next week comes out, right? Next weekend?
Yes, I have been watching It Chapter 1, so...
And you finished Stranger Things.
Yes, I did.
All right. Well, maybe we can include It Chapter 1 for George's review, Stranger Things Season 3 final, and then talk about It Chapter 2. We can do like a horror episode.
Yeah.
We should do a horror episode for Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still kind of early because
We'll do that in a couple weeks.
That'll be probably when the Joker movie comes out.
Yeah.
You know what? People suggested that for Halloween, talk about our top 2, 3 favorite horror movies. Or
Oh, we didn't even mention Scary Stories. What did you think of Scary Stories?
I didn't see it.
Scary Stories. Yeah, I saw it. It has great, like it made me jump. I don't normally jump, but this one made me jump,
Really?
even though I knew the scare was coming. I knew it was coming. Like I was anticipating it for like a good 30 seconds probably, and it still made me jump, probably because I was anticipating it that long. But yeah, it's one that makes you jump. There are a couple of unique things that they had for a horror movie of that style that I haven't really seen in other horror movies, because lots of times they're somewhat kiddish, but this one it had like a little bit more of a solidity to it, I should say. But yeah, it was I mean, there were the stories themselves were kind of kiddish.
Well, but, it's a kid's scary book. When I read those like in 6th, 7th grade, because they were. I mean, the images were more terrifying than the stories. The stories they're okay. They're like Goosebumps.
Yeah.
You know, or like Animorphs. You know.
Brett Hellquist did the illustrations, and those are.
That's who it was. Yeah. Those illustrations were creepier than the stories.
You know what else he illustrated? Lemony Snicket, Series of Unfortunate Events.
I love the movie. I'm excited about the series.
Have you seen it on Netflix?
No, I have not seen it.
I'm a huge Lemony Snicket fan.
It's the only series where I stopped watching after the 2nd episode because I couldn't take it.
The books are so much better. But the series, did you read the books?
No.
The books are better, of course, but the series has more of a plot than the movie did.
Really?
Oh yeah.
That's good to know.
The movie only did 3 books. This one does 13 books.
So they're doing each season, each book then, on Netflix.
They did 3 or 4 books per season, and then that's 3 seasons, and they have 13 books.
Okay.
So you'll get way past the
movies.
Yeah, way past the movies.
That's good to know. All right, we gotta stop. We're gonna see you guys next week. Look out for our spoiler reviews coming out in a few days from now. Have a great weekend. Have a great week. We'll see you guys for It Chapter 2. We're so excited to see it. Bye. Adios.